Welcome to another episode of my Motortown playthrough. Today we are back with some more container trucking. I initially didn't really expect to making another video about this, but what's special today is not the cargo, but actually the location it needs to go to. We are going to make our way down to the refinery today, at least I hope so. This will be a long trip, so we better get going. So we are starting out at the what was it? The overseas import factory. So this is the other location where you can get containers from. And I just had to be quick because this offering was about to expire. And yeah, 26k for the delivery. With this one, I'm not even sure if I have to bring back the empty container. I think I wouldn't do that. In this case, I would actually go and just drop off the container, get rid of the car with the empty container loaded, and then just grab myself a tanker trailer and bring back some oil, which is a highly profitable way of dealing with cargo in this game. Now it's pretty cool, and today we're just gonna see how massive OG Island really is by doing the first part of the delivery. So gotta get down there first, and then I guess the other episode will be about bringing the fully loaded tanker back up. Although, depending on how long this is going to take, I'll keep this open to making this a two-parter or something, I don't know. Shouldn't be that bad, but we'll have to see about it. Also, today you're finally going to see this truck at night. I did a few things with light fixtures over here, especially in the grill, but cannot really show it off at day. It's currently all active, but yeah, it only ever takes effect at night. Of course, there are a few additional lamp fixtures, like this stuff right here, but that's really for later in the night. Funnily enough, you can barely even tell that the standard lights on the truck are on, but they would be lighting up the road in front of us if we, or at least once we get it to become dark. Also, I'm kind of happy that not the entire episode will be at night, but at least some of it at twilight. But I also wanted to make sure that at least today you're gonna be able to see some parts of truck lit up and everything. I'm pretty sure I'm having the maximum amount of light fixtures installed at the truck right now, so I couldn't even add anything more if I wanted to. I think it's 4 pieces of underglow inside the grill to make the effect work, and yeah, that just takes away a lot of what we can do here. Of course, once I get my own container trailer, I can also attach a few lamp fixtures to that, so that could be interesting. I don't know what I would be doing with that. Of course, cannot attach anything to the container itself, since that's gonna be switched out all the time. But yeah, I guess depending on how it goes, maybe next episode you're going to see my custom tanker trailer. So that's quite exciting. Just gonna get there first. And yeah, this will be a long trip. But what I like about this is that apart from the bit of highway right here, a lot of it is really challenging. It's not gonna be all just straight line and everything. I think theoretically I could let the autopilot take over, but I don't really want to do that. It's more fun tipping over the cargo myself. Also, this bridge is looking amazing. Not entirely sure about the water texture though, since that sometimes just feels like the water is missing. Could use a little bit of something, maybe a few waves or something above that. Is that a little island over there to the north? I may have to check that out in between episodes. Might be nothing. It most likely is nothing, but kind of curious. And yeah, we can see the massive OG island to the right here. It's a lot of land, a lot of distance to cover, and we'll get there. Even though none of it is really directly available. I'm also still planning out the trip to just check out the pre-laid layout for the next piece of road. I definitely want to do that before the actual road is being put in place. I'm just kind of hesitating because I'm not sure if I want to just switch over to another character for that, or just really get into money making here and then buy myself a vehicle that can do that on this character. It would be quite expensive. I'd be looking at something like a pickup truck, 4-wheel drive, and possibly the 400 horsepower V12 engine, since that can be quite a lot of fun. I mean, sooner or later we are going to need a V12 anyways. Most likely not going to be putting it into any vehicle permanently, but more like for switching out to see how any vehicle could handle that kind of power. But yeah, we are now finally on OG. Gonna take a bit of time before we can really get deep down into the island. I still have quite a bit of fuel left. Let me check the map real quick, just to be sure. Yeah, I think the next stop is here. We better fuel up again. For all that it can do, the Golema sadly doesn't have any additional fuel tank available. I think the default capacity is a bit higher than for the other trucks, but there's nothing that you can do to increase that even further, so yeah, better safe than sorry. I think other trucks might have a better time getting into OG and driving around there without needing to care too much about the different gas stations. Maybe those can skip one, but this one better be more careful about it. Also, yeah, we can finally see the glow inside the front grille. And this is how it looks with all the light fixtures on. Nice. When it comes to the paint job on the Golema, I'm not entirely sure if I want to keep it. I tried to give the base color a bit of texture, which is really hard to see at some points. So I may have to up the contrast a little bit to make that a bit more noticeable. And I think I also want to extend the whole idea of tribal design. Maybe adding a few more symbols in between those so that they are more of a continuous thing instead of just covering an area with a self-contained symbol all the time. Also, maybe could expand on the whole idea of color transitioning. It's starting with red on the hood, goes over to orange on the front of the cap, and the back of it is yellow. So maybe there could be another shade of those colors in between, and then just going from one to the other a bit more smoothly. Initially, I also would have loved to just have like a color transitioning on the base color, but that turned out to be really tough. There isn't really any straight up color transitioning decal. There are a few that have different shades of color on them, and I use some of that, like the different flames and other multicolor pieces there. If you repaint them, they just get a different shade of coloring to them. But I'm not entirely sure if I don't want to rework the entire thing. The initial version of this paint scheme has actually been done with flames. So there are a few multicolor flame pieces, and yeah, it made the entire thing look a bit like Optimus Prime. Wasn't too bad, but it also wasn't really what I was aiming for, so yeah, something had to be done. Okay, gotta be careful about the corners. Oh god. Ja, gonna drive around the outside here. My god. I may have slightly touched the other car, and that's why the police is after me now. I don't think there's a way to shake them, so I may as well pull over and let them find me real quick. Fuck you, find me. Oh, it was just for going the wrong way. I should have maybe just rammed the other car instead, I guess. Also no idea why the vehicles are going that way. I don't know if it would be hard to program that the all the traffic just takes these intersections just like corners and doesn't go to the dead end. It's not like there's anything back there, but I've seen them convert some of the construction sites into these kind of loops. And yeah, to make that clear, I'm using a fully upgraded semi here. It's just that the steepness of the incline, it's still quite a lot. Also, the cargo is decently heavy. Also, I'm not entirely sure about my transmission setup. The truck can actually reach a decent top speed if it's either not pulling anything or if the containers or trailers, whatever, are empty. But yeah, under load it's not ideal, so I don't know what I should be doing there. Just can either have a setup that works pretty well for loaded runs, or having something that works better for empty runs, but now you are suffering when you have to actually transport anything. Maybe a compromise which wouldn't really be ideal for heavy loads or running empty either, but could work decently well for both of them. So sacrificing a bit of top speed when running empty, but also doing alright with heavy loads as well. I don't know. I think this one right now, while I still want to try it out a bit more, I don't think this is the best solution that I can come up with. Okay, going around a few sharp turns now. I think we are past Gapha now, so that should be as far south as I've ever been. I think maybe still the southbound entry point to Gapha is still coming up. But apart from that, for the most part, we are further south than we've ever been in the playthrough. Which is kind of exciting. Oh god. Slowly drifting. Although, honestly, the trailer drifting out is still a lot better than the tires gripping and just flipping over the entire thing here. I still should be a bit more careful here. I'm glad that there isn't any traffic around. Otherwise, things get a little bit more spicy real quick. But then again, this is a constant up and down with this route. It's not like we are just gonna go on a decline now or anything. We still need to keep the speed up in order to make it up there. I don't think the truck would completely die on the uphill, but it would definitely slow down quite a bit if we don't have a bit of momentum to begin with. So yeah, the route is tricky. I've also seen a few people attempt shortcuts, so that's also an option, especially after the next fuel station, but I usually just stick to the road. Even though shortcutting seems to be the way to go, really, especially since you are avoiding a few sharp turns, which can be a bit iffy. And yeah, right now, this is the only way to really go down to the refinery. As I've shown you guys in the last episode, there are a few more things that are set up for future roads. And I think we are going to see much more in the future regarding this place, but well, you gotta start somewhere. Okay, I'm going on a bit of an iffy banking there. It's kind of fun that you can use the side of the hill as a bank turn if you cannot make the corner otherwise. Gotta activate the Jake brake now. And yeah, I'm definitely not paying the most attention here. And I can tell you guys already, I would have had multiple accidents using the default tanker trailer. The container trailer, even though this is an upgrade as well, I don't have my own one yet. This one seems to be a bit more lenient than the tanker one. But slowly and steady we are making our way. We are already on the dirt part of the road, so that's quite a ways to the south. One thing to mention here is that there are still quite a bit of decoration to be added to the area. I think this is one of the newer parts that has been decorated. I think the last time I was here, it was looking a bit more barren, but it's definitely getting there. It just takes a bit of time. It's a large area, and even if right now the focus is obviously on the parts that have a road on them already, even that are multiple kilometers of road that needs to be taken care of. So yeah, it takes a bit of time. But there's definitely some progress visible as well, which is nice. Gotta try to get up to speed again. Let's also don't want to go too quickly because otherwise things might go south. More than they are going already. Okay. Oh, and then there's a split in the road. Okay, the one on the right, that's going up to the drilling spot. So that's where you get the crude oil for the refinery. I've done quite a few deliveries of that already, so no real reason to go up there. And that's also not where our cargo is headed. I think that's something to explore a bit more in the near future. I think it takes planks, and there's currently a way to load a lot more planks onto the flatbed trailers by using the Brutus, but I would need to buy that one first. So yeah, you can use the Brutus as a crane to load the cargo manually and just overloading a single trailer to get a bit more onto it. And I think once I get to the whole supply chain for wood, I would definitely attempt that. But yeah, for that I want to have my own Brutus wrecker and see how that works out. I don't think the other tow truck could do that. It might need to be a bit higher. But also sounds like a fun thing to try out. Slight drift by the trailer. I think we should be getting back on the road soon, and then we should also be very close to the fuel station. So while I could have most likely skipped the other one, again it's better to be a bit safe with this truck. We definitely need to take a stop at that one because going from that fuel station to the refinery and back is gonna almost empty out the entire fuel tank. Also a bit of an iffy turn up ahead, but we are slow enough, I hope. Just gonna take it real gently. And now on a downhill slope again. So gonna be using the jake brake again. I mean, theoretically it's 120 kilometers speed limit on these roads, but we are not doing that with a truck. Let's be clear about that this is already going too fast. It's alright, but it's kind of on the brink. I don't know how much you can tell about that by just watching the video, but having a bit of experience in this game, you definitely feel what the vehicles are about to do. Apart from maybe the tanker trailer, because that just snap flips over all the time. But with the container trailer, it seems, yeah, you really get a feel for how close you are to the limit. So don't want to overdo it. Also a few vehicles to be towed. That's not gonna happen anytime soon. And yeah, I kinda overshot the entry point to the gas station, so let's just be elegant and turn around as if we were meant to do that. Nobody will ever know. Getting a bit more of a view of my semi over here. Honestly, while I still think the design should be adjusted and made a bit more intricate, I think the look is definitely growing on me. So I don't think it will be changing too much anymore. Just a bit of refinement, making things a bit more fancy and all of that. And yeah, I'm still having installments to pay off. If you took out a loan and then do deliveries over here, the trip gets really nerve-wracking for your bank account, because that's just like half an hour or something where you're not making any money, but you're getting installment after installment after installment, maybe also tipping over the entire truck with the trailer all the time. So that's gonna be a very expensive trip until you finally get your payment. But that payment is pretty good, so it works out in the end. And I think other people would be going over to the right somewhere around here, just shortcutting part of the whole thing. Which makes sense, but I don't really want to go there. But yeah, I think there's another construction site up ahead, which they also may have turned into, yeah, a bit of a roundabout. I don't know if there's even still construction stuff to be delivered over there. I think some of it might have gotten removed, but I don't know. I haven't really done those jobs anyways. I heard they pay out pretty well, which they should, because up until this point I think a lot of people have just avoided the dump truck and mixer, and that would definitely be a very good reason to get both of these. But yeah, we are slowly making our way, and while this could almost feel like an endless journey, I think we've gone through different biomes now, starting out in the mountains on the north part of Oldley and now more in the desert. I think there's also maybe a bit of mesa in between, or at least it looks quite different. And yeah, at least according to the marker on the map, we are definitely getting there. Still far longer to go than the straight line marker tells us. But in the end, the most boring thing would be if this was straightforward. The corners are really keeping the entire thing alive here. Also, is it just because it's night, or is the left side a bit more on the green than the right? I don't think that worked like that before. But yeah, I guess the further the game gets along, the more is added to the island, and so a lot of things that, well, seems like they just need a bit more decoration, might be changing in a more major way as well. Adding rain into the mix is not really what I had in mind for this, but alright, we'll make do. Oh yeah, now we get to the more decorated parts with some of the lights installed here. I don't know if those are supposed to be just reflectors, but they seem to be not necessarily lighting up the area, but they seem to be at least a minor light source. Gotta try to keep it on the road. And I guess I am just so happy that we've gotten this island and now have a faraway location. I've said it in the past that the game used to lack like enough area to make these kind of long hauls happen. Oh, and I should probably take care about my stuff real quick here. So I just activated the autopilot for a moment just so I can go into this menu and take care of refreshing all the buses that I have at this point. I can buy another one, and after that, if I get a sixth bus, I would need to retire the little one, which I might then use as a little tuning project. It definitely paid for itself. But yeah, I think when I started the game today, there was another patch, and it seems that just the areas are getting worked on all the time, so stuff happens and it may not even be clear at first. It's kind of cool seeing everything come along, which is also why I wanted to do one of those deliveries here in a timely manner, because in a few patches, if we come back here, I don't know, I don't want to make this kind of trip in too many videos, but well, if we get more things added and just come back here at a later point, it will likely already look quite a bit different. I think even a week ago those fences weren't there, but they are now around a few corners on the track here. Same with some of the other decoration around here, and it's just really enhancing the look of everything. And maybe if we do another trip down here, I would even consider doing that on the TWL server. It just has a completely different feel to it if you constantly ever see people or see other people doing the same kind of trucking job that you are doing. Shouldn't be too much further. I remember there being a major left-hand turn, and then we are going straight towards the refinery. And I think that might be coming up soon enough. I don't want to look at the map all the time, but we should be there in a moment. Which I think works out quite well for the trip length that I had in mind. I just have to make up my mind when it comes to the trip back, because the most The best paying version of the fuel delivery from the refinery includes a rather long trip up into the mountains on Jeju Island, and that would definitely be way longer than anything else. Oh, there's somebody wanting a lift and also a car that needs to be towed. I don't really take hitchhikers, so I'll just leave them behind. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, I guess it's gonna take another few turns around here. I think the next major left-hand turn, that might be the one. I'm just gonna save it until it finally is the correct one. Also gotta be careful at some points. I mean, the traffic here is not too aggressive, but I also don't like if they just pile up behind me. I had it a few times where I was leading a convoy of about 10 cars because well, the AI traffic doesn't really overtake unless it's programmed to be aggressive. Would be interesting if there was a way to for them to switch between their normal mode and the aggressive one. Because the aggressive one can also get around corners quite a bit better, it overtakes other vehicles. So maybe if they notice being stuck behind somebody for a while, they could switch over for a few seconds and just overtake that vehicle. Or maybe if they are stuck on an intersection, if you honk at them a few times, they could also turn aggressive and just do the thing. Oh god, there's a bus stop here now. Also, I don't remember that thing going around the turn there. We'll have to check that out soon enough. I think that came from the construction site. So there is a bit more of a road here. But we are here to deliver to the refinery. Just coming through the entry checkpoint. Gotta slow it down. I'll just turn on the speed limiter and let it do its thing here. You either get that barrier up or I'm taking it with me. That's, well, your choice. Also, at least my company buses are making a bit of profit, because otherwise I may be in a bit of hurt. Because that's just gonna eat into my bank account, just having the constant installment. Yeah, just pull out money out of the bank account. Also, one thing that I would like to mention, when I made my initial review of or my initial rundown of the whole new content, I don't think any deliveries to this point were implemented at that time. But it took them like one minor hot fix and then boom, we got the jobs. Okay. And as per usual, I can now return the empty container. I mean, it's 26k, so yeah, there is a reason to do that. But I won't be going for that because I have a better idea on how to spend the way back here. So I'll just be deleting the trailer and therefore also the empty container. Because otherwise, yeah, just making that money isn't good enough for me. I want to make a bit more, and also let's get a bit of stuff out of refinery here. So goodbye trailer, and with that the delivery is done. You know what? Let me just check something. Okay, the road isn't even marked down here. I'm curious if there is maybe another outline for another road going in this area, like this one here. Yeah, that's definitely something. The episode is quite long already, but I think I want to have a look around, at least check out where the road is going there. So we're gonna do that real quick right now. It's gonna be a bit of a longer episode, but I'm curious. I hope you are too, and I don't just wanna leave it like that. there isn't enough to do down here right now to stay here for an entire episode. And I don't just wanna explore it off video and then just tell you guys about it without being able to show it. So we're at least going to check out where this road is going and how far it is going. Oh, that might be a bit of a distance. It's weird that it's not on the map, and I think that might indicate that this is not working as a road, so I wouldn't even expect any traffic here right now. Well, which is definitely for the better, because so I can at least not ruin my own car here. Speaking of which, I just noticed I didn't fuel it up before taking this trip. I mean, there isn't even a fuel station at the refinery, so gotta be careful about that. But this one, if bad comes to worse, things might end up badly and it could be stranded here. I tell you guys, this wasn't here before the latest hotfix, or maybe a hotfix before that. So this is definitely adding major amounts of map updates. I mean, this could end up bringing us back over here. I mean, this is another one of those things where maybe if you just wanted to see the delivery done, that's been dealt with, and this is more like bonus content, like doing the risky bus recovery and the other recovery in the mountains that didn't go to plan, which needed an entirely different episode to be sorted out. But screw it, I'm doing this, I'm recording this, and I just wanna see where this one goes. I mean, Betty cannot just have added the entire thing here going back up to the north again. And there's the low fuel warning, by the way. Oh, I think I'm seeing something on the map, and yeah, that might be the end of the road now. So a little turning circle, but that's about it. So yeah, this is as far as this one goes right now. Yeah, I definitely need an off-road capable vehicle to explore the area a bit more. We are right here, and I can already tell that there's another outline for additional roads being planned over here. So I kind of want to see where this one goes, but this is not going to happen with this car. I mean, look at this. This is clearly something going on. And yeah, I think the next episode will just be me going back to Lijo Island, having a loaded tanker. But afterwards, maybe we'll do a bit of exploring. Maybe using either the money that we just made, and I forgot you can get stuck over here. I could also tow to the nearest garage, which likely wouldn't be on this island. Anyways, yeah, I want to do some exploring and seeing at what kind of rate the island is expanding over here. I think that's definitely something to be done sooner than later. Otherwise we will be missing out on major developments here. Anyways, I'll be bringing back the vehicle to the refinery, hopefully, maybe walking the rest of the road if I run out of fuel, but I think that's gonna be it for this video. Or you know what, make this an extra long one and just see if I can bring the car back without running out of fuel. I think it will be tight. And yeah, I'm definitely running on higher gear now, trying to be a bit more conservative with my fuel use, but I don't know if we can make it back. This is a really long road already, and I absolutely did not expect that. Then again, if the car actually gets stuck, at the very worst I leave it here, and then just spawn it back in at a parking lot near a gas station or something later down the line. It's not lost or anything. I mean, we could do the full recovery, taking the tow truck and getting it, but this is definitely not necessary. Yeah, there's gonna be a bit of cruising here. Also, no speed limit over here yet. And then again, there's also no traffic, so no cop cars. But yeah, fuel is low with 0.69 kilometers per liter, now 0.70. I guess it's actively changing how far my reach is or what my mileage is for a gallon, depending on the way I'm driving. And it going up right now is definitely a good thing. Okay, there's that sign. I don't know how close I am to the refinery, but it's still gonna be a bit of a ways to go. I think I can see it in the distance to the right there. So I guess we're gonna make it back here after all. But yeah, close call. Just gonna despawn it at one of the parking lots there, and that's gonna be it for this one. So yeah, we did not run out of fuel. It was a close call, but worked out in the end. And yeah, definitely one of the future episodes is gonna be about exploring the place a bit more. But that's gonna be it from my side now, finally. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed. See you guys next time. Goodbye.